dear children. Welcome back to the mathematics session. In the previous classes, we had completed squares and square roots, cubes and cube roots. Further, we shall proceed to the next chapter, exponents. Do you know what is the distance from Davangere to Bangalore? Yes, it is 250 kilometers. Nearly it is 250 kilometers, and it is very easy to ride 250 kilometers at one stretch. Whereas if I have to measure the distance from Earth to the Sun, how far is the Earth to the Sun? 150 million kilometers. In the same way, if we have to measure the distance between the stellar bodies, it will be very difficult to write in expanded form. So, in short, we call it a scientific notation. If the numbers are large enough, we use a short form scientific method. So, this I can write it as 150 million kilometers, or else 150 into 10 to the power of how many zeros are there? 6 kilometers. Or else I can write it as 115 into 10 to the power of one more zero is added, kilometers. So look at the size of the number now. It was so large and it is reduced to 15 into 10 to the power of 7 kilometers. In this way, the larger numbers are concised and written in a shorter form without changing the value. This we call it as scientific notation. In the same way, this is nothing but exponential form. 10 to the power of 6, 10 to the power of 7 itself is exponential form. Then what are these exponents? It is nothing but, see, 10 to the power of 6 is 10 is multiplied 6 times. Can you see? Repeated product. The product of repeated factors is called as exponents. What are exponents? It is the product of repeated factors. Which factor is repeated here? 10 is a factor which is repeated. In the same way, I can write 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. Which factor is repeated here? Factor 2 is repeated. How many times it is repeated? 5 times it is repeated. So I can write this in a shorter form, 2 to the power of 5. 2 is the base, which is the repeated factors, and 5 is the factor how many times it is repeated. We call it as power of the base. So this is called as exponents. Writing the larger form into the shortest form, or the product of the repeated factors is called as exponents. Now let us see how to expand these exponents. Here we have 3 to the power of 4. What is this 3? 3 is the base, 4 is the exponent. 3 is the base, 4 is the exponent. 5 is the base, 8 is the exponent. One I show, 3 is base, 4 is exponent. You can call it as exponent, call it as index, or you can call it as part of the number. 5 to the power of 8. In this, 5 is base and 8 is the exponent or the power or the index. Here 1 by 2, it's in the fraction form, is the base and 4 is the exponent. I have taken negative integer 2. Minus 2 is the base and 6 is the exponent. We shall expand these exponents. 3 is the base. 3 is repeated how many times? 4 times. So I can write it as 3 into 3 into 3 into 3. This is only expanding the exponential form. If they ask you to find the value, you have to multiply 3 3s are 9, 3s are 27, 3s are 729 is the value. But now I am showing you how to expand the exponential form. 5 to the power of 5. Base 5 is repeated 8 times. So 5 into evaluate by multiplying numerator to numerator, denominator to denominator. So minus 2 to the power of 6. So minus 2, I use the bracket. Minus 2 into 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 minus 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When you write bracket, if you need not mention multiplication, it is understood. Bracket represents multiplication. I hope you could follow the expansion of the exponential form, children. Now, we shall know something about power with negative exponents. Here all the powers are positive. Now we shall see how to get the negative exponents. Let me consider 10 square. 10 square is 10 into 10, 100. Here 10 is the base and 2 is the exponent or index. This 10 is equal to 10 into 10, which is equal to 100. Now we will reduce 10 to the power of 1. 10 to the power of 1 is nothing but 100 divided by 10. 100 divided by 10 is 10. 1 0 gets cancelled. Or 10 is repeated only once, so 10. Then if I move on, 10 to the power of 0. So this 10 is divided by 10. It is divided by, reduced by one more 10, divided by 10. 10 divided by 10 is 1. This is how we say, we conclude, if the index is 0, is always equal to 1. How did I get? This is the way we got it. Anything to the power of 0 is always 1. 2 to the power of 0, 1, 10 to the power of 0, 1, 8 to the power of 0, 1, m to the power of 0, 1. Any number to the power of 0 is always 1. How did we get? This is how we got it. Next, less than 0 is minus 1 according to the number line. Less than 0, which is the number minus 1, minus 2, it goes on. How to get this minus 1? How to write this? How many times it is repeated? We know the place value. 10 to the power of minus 1 is 1/10. How to write this? 1 by 10. Further we can proceed. 10 to the power of minus 2 is 1 by 100. This is negative power of the exponent. If you have to rewrite the negative as positive index, you just change its place from numerator to denominator or denominator to numerator. How? 2 to the power of minus 3. It's a negative index. I should rewrite it as positive index. How to do it? 1. It's in the numerator. Bring it down to the denominator. 1 by 2 to the power of plus 3. Minus 3 change to plus 3, 2 cube. In the same way, x to the power of minus 5. X to the power of minus 5. It is a negative index. I will rewrite this as positive index. How? It is in the numerator. So we shall bring it in the denominator. 1 divided by x to the power of minus 5 changes to plus 5. Now here we have 1 by 3 to the power of minus 2. Look at this example. The index is in the denominator with negative sign. I should rewrite this negative exponent as positive. How to do that? It is in denominator. Bring it to the numerator. 3 to the power of plus 2. One more example I give. 2 by 6 to the a to the power of minus 3. Here instead of 1, I have taken the other factor 2. Negative index is in denominator. Shift it to the numerator.